What would you say the best argument is for getting rid of the assault weapons when pistols are being used for the majority of these mass shootings?
I'm not sure of that statistic. Are you sure that pistols are used for the mass shootings more than...
Yeah, since the 80s, it's almost double.
Now, are you saying that that's for anything over the number 3?
Yeah.
So that's a low number. That's not the ones that go in and kill 50 people.
I think usually it's 3 to 4
Right.
Is going to be like classified as a mass shooting. That's
shooting.
why,
Right.
Kind of like that. So you're saying
Well,
anything that's going to be a lot more. What were your thoughts on kind of Virginia Tech then?
Well, we live 40 minutes from Virginia Tech.
And I'm sure you guys heard.
We know
you
all
guys,
about
You guys
it.
know all about it. So, with Virginia Tech, he had two.
He had a problem, and he was known to have a problem, and nobody stepped up to stop it.
And it seems like a lot of these mass shootings are something.
Someone that's been brought to someone's attention.
She is, you guys can see they're kind of coming around right there. She's kind of waking up. That's what I'm thinking in my head. These ladies are kind of waking up. They're finishing my sentences. And I start bringing up Virginia Tech because she didn't like that I brought up pistols. And it's like, okay, the reason I brought up the pistols, and I guess I should have just assumed that they would shut it down because they just want to talk about rifles. But the reason why I brought that up is because a lot of the anti-gun position is just almost lowering a mass shooting down to the number of 2 individuals murdered at a time just to maximize the figure of mass shootings that they can say are happening in the United States. But as soon as you start to talk about, okay, well, your typical mass shooting in the United States is being used, they're using a pistol. As soon as you kind of bring that up, they don't really want to talk about that quote-unquote lower figure anymore, as you just saw an example of right there. But that's why I brought up Virginia Tech, because it's the largest school shooting in U.S. history. So I'm trying to get to that point, and we do. But so far, they're actually finishing my sentences and kind of waking up a little bit. It's surprising to see. I was actually really surprised to see that. All right, back to this guy again.
You're mentioning just a blanket gun ban kind of in the future. Obviously, there's 300 million guns in the United States. How do you think they would even go about that if they were to start?
I don't really know, but yeah.
And we were talking about Virginia Tech. Obviously, Virginia Tech was the biggest school shooting of all time, or at least, in recent years.
Before we jump into Virginia Tech, him saying, I don't really know. Well, you'd probably vote to have people kicking down doors and stealing people's weapons from them. That's probably what you would support, right? But that sounds a little bit spooky to say out loud. So he's sitting there clueless. I don't know how you get rid of those guns. 300 million, 400 million, it's in that ballpark range. How are you going to do that? They just come from the position of nothing bad could ever happen to you as an individual. And nothing bad will ever happen. That's the guarantee that they're making you by demanding that you give away your guns, right? They're saying nothing bad is ever going to happen to you. They'll look no further than what's happening over in Israel right now. You have examples of invasions and tyrannical rule all over the world happening today in the last handful of decades, centuries, since the dawn of time. How can you possibly make that guarantee that your government will never go tyrannical and you'll never be invaded and therefore you'll never need firearms? That's the promise they're trying to make? It seems insane.